Good morning, Panthers. It's Tuesday. I couldn't remember what I did last week or what I talked about to you last week, so I have rewatched my video so that I know what I talked about. I talked about my sleeve drafting. Oops. So, like I said, the next step after that was going to be like ironing the fabric and cutting it out. I did go up and iron about a third of the fabric. And then I couldn't lift my arms anymore, so I had to stop. And I checked the layout of the fabric. Like, I didn't, obviously I have to iron the rest of it before I can do any cutting out anyway, but I checked to make sure how I wanted to lay it out, and all of that stuff. Excitingly, I have plenty of fabric to lengthen the skirt, which I was not sure about. I wasn't sure if I was going to or not, but it should be completely fine. I have plenty, so that's exciting. So now what I have left to do is to iron the other 2/3 of the fabric, and then do the laying out and the cutting. And then I don't have to go upstairs anymore, and I can do sewing down here. At least, mostly, that's what I can do. Since I can't, I have to rest before I can, do that anymore. I did the ironing and everything, a few days ago, and I've just been, trying to take it as easy as possible instead of, doing more up and down. So I'm going to take a little while before I try to go back up again. So in the meantime, I've been trying to do the preliminary steps for the next thing I'm planning to make, which is a pair of pajamas. And I've kind of, my hubris here, man, is a problem, because this time the pattern that I have chosen is a true vintage, basically a true vintage pattern. It's a PDF pattern that someone has, it's a true vintage pattern from the 40s that someone has turned into a PDF pattern. They've digitized it, cleaned up the lines, and made a modern pattern out of it. It does not, they have not redrafted the instructions. They just include the original instructions. They didn't write new instructions in the modern style. So all it has is the vintage instructions, and vintage instructions are vague because they assume you know what you're doing. They assume everybody knows what they're doing. And that is not necessarily the case if you are a modern sewist. And so I'm not sure how this is going to work out, but I'm going to give it a shot. I think it'll be okay. So that's exciting. Anyway, so what I'm doing right now is taping the pattern together. Because with a PDF pattern, everything, you have to here, I'll show you. Okay, this is where we are. This is only part of the pattern. But can you see pattern pieces like so? You have to print out 40 pages or whatever, however many pages it is, and then you tape them all together and cut out your pattern pieces. And it works really well because, you can always print out another copy if you need it, if something happens to your original one. Some PDF patterns are made with layers, so you can print out just the size you need instead of having to print out all of them. This one does not have that. All of the sizes are on one pattern. but that's fine. I'm going to trace out a copy anyway once I'm done. And then I will have my, like, original printed out pattern with all of the sizes, and then I will trace out a copy of just the size that I need. Because I prefer to trace out my patterns and have a copy instead of like working with the original pattern and then like, you know, damaging it. So yeah, so taping things together takes a while, as you can imagine. I've been working on it very, very gradually. Like I like put a couple of pages together and then I leave it sitting on the desk and I go do something else. And I have been working on it very, very gradually for about the past like 2 or 3 days, and it's a 2-piece pajama set with like a jacket and pants, and I'm about maybe halfway, probably not, maybe halfway putting the jacket pattern together. I haven't started on the pants yet. I've got them printed out, but I haven't started taping them together yet. If I were working a little more industriously, it would not be taking so long. But I'm just doing a little bit at a time, which is, you know, the best choice. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's how things are going so far. Wish me luck. I haven't gotten up to do any actual, like, real work on the dress. So we're gonna hope that sometime, you know, like next week or something, I can, this week, I guess, I can get up there to at least do some more ironing. Maybe cutting out. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I've been talking for like a while, like 7.5 minutes. Probably I should stop at this point. This is the only thing I have to talk about. I haven't done anything else this week except mess around with my sewing patterns. So, yeah. Sorry, that's not very interesting. I love you all. I will see you next week. Don't forget to be awesome.